Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Um, if you're listening, yes, you, girl, this is for you. I'm so happy that you're here. If you're walking, shopping, sitting in your car, waiting in carpool, bless you. Yes, you. We want you here because we have a really special topic today. And we have been praying, dreaming, giggling, and getting pretty pumped about this. And we're talking about identity. Yes, identity. Are you ready? Everything that you've considered about who you are, what makes you a woman,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it today. Because if you're here, I wonder if you've disqualified yourself in some way, shape, or form. So hit pause on that disqualification. Just slow down and let's talk about identity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about how your identity as a woman was shaped. What was being said in your family of origin.
Mhm.
What even maybe layer on top of that, whatever cultural influences might have come from your family of origin. Layer on top of that, the broader culture at large. Layer on top of that, church.
Are you feeling the heaviness? Because I just feel squashed right now. Because that is legitimate that it is heavy and that there are so many different ways that can come at us to describe and prescribe who we are as women and what women look like, sound like, act like in this world.
Yeah, and then how does your perception of what it means to be a woman, how then has that actually caused you to turn towards your unwanted sexual behavior,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh, I don't live up to that, whatever, or I don't want to be that, what I saw, and people want me to be that,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to go somewhere where I can be who I think I am as a woman.
All right, so that's awesome. Why don't we do that? Why don't we? Good idea, Kyle. Why don't we talk about that? And in that framework, though, of first, culturally, family, world, church. How have you assumed or defined what it means to be a woman?
Right. So I think for me, if I start with just my family of origin, start there. Start family of origin, African American family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In my family of origin, for a woman, there had to be this level of strength, and like you had to be willing to like go to the carpet for anybody, including let's get a gang of people and go beat up somebody. Right?
Okay.
Right, right. Like that's the thing I saw. I
Yeah.
would see conversations about, hey, this happened to so and so in our family. We can't let that keep happening. What are we going to do about it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would witness these kinds of conversations going on. And so, okay, so that's a thing that shaped me. Um, Even if I think about school growing up, I was smaller than most of the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got to have this kind of, uh, you know, be big enough and kind of take up space in the room,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was teeny tiny,
Mm-hmm.
didn't take up space in the room,
Yeah.
right? And so then you get older, and even for my likes and dislikes, right? I wasn't the girl who, I tell people this all the time, I was not just the makeup and pumps chick. That was not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be outside playing sports. I enjoyed trucks as much as I enjoyed Barbie, right? Just had this myriad of things and still didn't feel like I fit in this mold of what other girls were like.
I am fascinated right now because I did not grow up like that at all. And it is, wow. Okay, so I grew up with a Hispanic mom, German dad, And generationally, I was meant to be quiet. I was also supposed to dress a certain way because as a woman, you need to have the earrings, the bracelet, the necklace, the blush because you could not look pale. You always had to have a smile on your face because what you were presenting to the world meant more than what you were feeling. And so this display is a big deal. It was there was a lot of emphasis on that. You do not leave the house looking like that. And I was very tall for my age when I was in elementary, middle school. So I was called Andrea the Giant and made fun of for being like really tall. I'm not even that tall, that tall kid. So it's so, wow, right?
Yeah. And so you start to live out of that, and then you try to find where do you fit in.
Yes.
And then add becoming a Christian.
Yes. Let's go there. Yes.
Right? So now you become a Christian and you get this sense that all of what you've learned is wrong. And now you've got to even step into something else that you don't feel like you fit into. And you have to present yourself in a way so that you could eventually get married and to have kids. And, you had to carry yourself a certain way. And I also then had to take on the responsibility of managing the lust of others. Right? So now here's this whole thing that, I'm like, what? Where do I go? Where do I belong? So it was easy for me then to be able just to dive into erotic literature and sexual fantasy, because then I could be the person I thought I really truly was in that way.
Yeah. Gosh, and I was, wow. Okay. I feel like we do need to pause for our listeners just to be able to even right now ask yourself and jot down if you can. Okay, so how did I grow up? Was I meant to be quiet or was I meant to take up space? Did I need to step up or was I meant to be an observer? Were looks important or was a quick sarcastic like answer important or was sports, art, music? Start to write some of this down and understand where you came from, and then yes, oh my gosh, add on church, and then pornography for sure informed who I was not and where I was so deficient, and where I lacked.
Yeah, and I think you have to think about what you rejected as well, right? Because you may have been in this family where women had to be quiet, and you're like, well, I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm doing that. And so you create this different persona, and then you become the girl that's too much. You're too much. You're too this, you're too that, because you rejected what you felt like wasn't, and maybe because there were consequences to that, right? Because you couldn't speak because speaking meant harm. Speaking meant being violated. Right? So think about the things that you've rejected as well.
So all these observations and experiences start to develop who we think of ourselves as women, and whether we are, and then we can label ourselves. And so some of our labels, it can go anywhere from the quiet one, the loud one, the flirt. It just goes on and on and on. And these labels take up a lot of space. So that's part of our conversation today also, or the hope of it, is that we can name them, identify them, and then see what we want to do with those.
Yeah. And think about what are the things that you feel like really are you, right? If you are a woman who is an architect, And I know that profession can be predominantly male.
Mhm.
And then you feel like there's something weird about you because you love this thing that men love. Think about the things that you feel like are really your thing, and that how they can be a gift from God for you.
Mhm.
That God didn't. There was no mistake
Mhm.
that you have this gift to be an architect, or that you have this gift to go outside and just build a structure, or that you have this gift to be this amazing homemaker. Like, those are gifts, they're not hindrances.
Mhm.
And so, what are the ways might you be thinking that, oh, because I'm this way, this is like nobody's going to really receive me as the woman that I am, because they're going to see this thing that I do
Mhm.
more than who I actually am.
Right. So let's not dismiss being mathematically minded as being masculine.
Exactly.
This is your gift.
Yes.
What does it look like to stop and say, God, you gave me a mind for engineering. Thank you that I can do math that makes Andrea's mind explode. And
Right.
she is a woman and I am a woman. It's, yes, to consider and ask the Lord, hey, what is it that you've given me? I'm making this little inventory list of myself and noticing this. Is this a gift from you?
Yeah.
Can you reframe it and help me see it as a gift? Um, that that is worth spending some time with.
Yeah. And knowing that it's also the way that you can best reflect Jesus to others. When you're really you,
Mm-hmm.
people can see Jesus better.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see Jesus better when you're trying to live out some other identity. They can't see him because you're spending too much time covering up who you really are.
Yeah, yeah.
And what might it be like, even for some of the ways you have labeled yourself? Does it mean finding, it makes me think about um, just the fig leaves that Adam and Eve used to cover themselves. Like, how do you start to uncover? Maybe you have to get some cutout leaves and write some of these things down
Mm-hmm.
and do something with them.
Mm-hmm.
Throw them in the trash, burn them,
Mm-hmm.
put them in a bottle, send them out to sea. Like, what are some of the things that you can do to really start to release yourself from some of the ways you've labeled yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And then what are the ways you can start to say, like, God, look at the gift that you have given me so that I can operate in this world the way you want me to.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite big words is reductionistic. And isn't it good? I just like that word.
That's a good big word.
Thank you. So these labels are super reductionistic.
Mm-hmm.
I love to paint, and I was feeling really bold and bought myself a 36 by 36 canvas. That's the biggest canvas I've probably ever painted on. And instead of doing these huge broad strokes, I did lots of tiny little staccato marks of paint, and it's very chaotic looking, and it's cool, and there's lots of color, and I enjoyed it, and it's taken a lot of time, and it's definitely not done. But I was struck this morning looking at it that even in this huge, right, for me, canvas of 36 inches by 36 inches, it's still confined to 36 by 36. And these labels of spicy Latina, of angry Black woman, of quiet conservative Christian, of Karen, of flirt, of hoe, of mom, of daughter, they can go negative and they can go super positive and super simple. All of these labels are confined to the 36 by 36 canvas. My goodness, our God is infinite. And if we can use this conversation and these questions and these what ifs and this inventory list and the fig leaves and writing it down to allow his infinite arms to wrap around this 36 by 36 canvas, or my probably 36-inch waist, whatever, it's fine. It's totally fine. Allow his infinite arms to wrap around and say, this is the God who designed me. I wonder if his design for me is far bigger than I'm reducing myself to? This
Absolutely.
dang label, like, come on.
Yeah. Get rid of it. Kick it out the door.
Kick it out, take it off. This is about, and this is where I get clearly excited, is that God is inviting us to freedom.
Yes.
We're so much more than this world's reductionistic idea of a woman.
Yeah. And how can you celebrate? And like, you know, maybe there are the things that people have said, oh, you're too whatever, or you're not enough whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, there's a gift in that, because maybe you don't need to be the loud one in the room. Maybe you need to be the one who's going to bring the calm to the room, the reasoning to the room.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you do need to be the one to be disruptive and come in the room and say, listen, what's going on here doesn't need to be going on here anymore, right? Those are things that you can celebrate, that you don't have to be like Susie over there or Jenny over there, right? You can really be you. And what if, as you step more into who God created you to be, that you find that you don't have the desire to turn to the stuff that's false, to go into that false world and live in the false world because the world you're living in doesn't allow you to be who you really are.
That's right. And we touched on that in our conversation about fantasy, that for sure these identifiers that we hold on to and we label ourselves can move us towards certain unwanted sexual behaviors, can move us towards certain scenarios in pornography, can move us towards certain fantasies. So being aware helps you move differently.
Yes.
So do that. So listen to that podcast because it was a good one.
Yeah.
And when you know yourself, and I do love the idea of whether it's leaves, a piece of paper, something where you are moving these words from your body, from your mind, using your body. So writing it out is, yes, with a pen and paper, with a marker, with a crayon, whatever it is, with paintbrush and paint, move it.
Yeah.
Process it through your body, because then you are moving from a place of responding or reacting to a place of receiving.
Yeah. And I think even if you think about the people who are in your life, they're not all the same, right? You have people who you know are going to be the ones where you are going through something hard. They know how to speak the words of encouragement, or maybe you just they'll be the person who will just sit there and cry with you, and they don't have to say any words, and you just appreciate the fact that they're going to come and cry with you, right? Or you have those friends who will say, listen, girl, like, come on, that thing you did there wasn't the thing. So you have these different kinds of voices in your life. So, and those people are probably maybe living out of who they are created to be.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want to do the same?
That's right. So what does God say about our identity as women? Who does he say that we are? He starts from the very beginning in a really profound and beautiful way. In Genesis. Ezer, is that how you say it?
Ezer, yeah.
Ezer.
Ezer, the helper.
We are, and even just that idea of helper, like, woo, just hold on a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the associate, the assistant.
Yeah, not the person running around with the, what do you need, what do you need, what do you need?
No. So what does the helper mean?
So listen, I love this from this commentary. It says, in the case of the biblical model, the helper is an indispensable partner required to achieve the divine commission.
Say it again.
The helper is an indispensable partner required to achieve the divine commission. So that means whatever the man lacks, the woman accomplishes. Woo! That's Jesus's intention, right? that we live in this complementary relationship with one another.
Yeah.
We're not meant to stand on top of each other.
No.
We're not meant to beat each other down. We're not meant to shrink back, but we're meant to complement one another.
Right.
And I think even we have real life experience just from our little training session we had yesterday, right?
Right.
We were able to see where we are gifted and not feel bad about the places we aren't,
No.
because we know we have someone we can go to who fills in that. And so when you are the real you're the real woman that God has created you to be, you get to fill in the gap where somebody else can't.
When you are the woman you're created to be, you are essential to achieving the divine commission.
Divine commission. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes. 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 Oh my gosh.
And that doesn't mean ministry.
Right. No.
Right. That means life.
Yes. Yes, the divine commission is, there are opportunities every day in every way.
Yes.
Exactly where you are. Whether you are healing from a broken marriage that has just exploded recently, you are necessary to achieve the divine commission. Whether you are on day 19 of not looking up pornography and feeling really amazing about it, yes, you are part and essential to achieving the divine commission. Whether you're wondering if what everybody has said about you is true, or if you're hearing the whispers of what God is saying to you and you're starting to consider it, you are necessary and key to achieving the divine commission. At school, at home, as you prepare your meals, as you do your work, in all of the ways. Even just the idea that, not the idea, the truth that this rib, is shared with Adam, or that there's a partnership even that way, the linking arms. It's not higher than subordinate. It's a real partnership. That's how we were created.
And so how can you even just step out and just even be willing to say, Lord, I want to celebrate who you've made me to be. And whatever that looks like, does it mean you invite others in? Maybe there are others who can share with you, like, what's that thing that you appreciate about me? And to be able to receive it and not think that they're just trying to say something just to make you feel better, but really to receive it and let it resonate with you.
Right. And I think, we're coming back to it again. Let's not react, but receive. Do you trust the God of the universe? Do you trust his word? Do you trust what he has to say about you? Even as you maybe even clench your fists a little bit, thinking, I'm not sure, because of some of these things that have come up. Just now, if you can soften your hands and just take a deep breath. And say out loud, I wonder, Lord, what you want to say to me today.
Yes. Yeah, just be willing to have your ears open for what he wants to say.
So, you beautiful girl, keep those ears open. The God of the universe is calling your name. And he's excited to tell you about how he designed you, how proud he is that you can engineer, that you can saute, that you can paint, that you can walk, that you can rest, that you can listen, that you can play, that you can sew, that you can cut wood, that you can drive a car, that you can see. Would you receive his voice for you today and walk in freedom? walk in beauty, walk in full identity of the fantastic woman that God has made you to be.
Amen.
Amen.